Hello, my dear students. Good morning. Hope you are all safe. Now we will discuss about some preparations of alcohols and phenols, and then we will enter into properties. Let's see oxidation of alkenes how happen by using Bayer's reagent. Bayer's reagent is a 10% alkaline KMnO4. Okay, so if you have like CH2 or double bond CH2 when you are using oxidizing agent, okay, oxidation representation I am writing. Now when we are using this oxidation, so Bayer's reagent I am using here 10% Mr. alkaline KMnO4, alkaline, okay, alkaline KMnO4 when you are using, then what happened, this product diols formation happens, CH2OH and single bond CH2OH, this happens. So you have to remember like this. Alkenes when treated with Bayer's reagent, that means 10%. 10% means alkaline. Alkaline means basic KMnO4. Okay. So diluted KMnO4 meaning when you are using, then diols you are having. Okay. Simply remember like this. Alkene treated with the 10% alkaline KMnO4, diol is the product. Wherever you have a double bond, there you have two OH groups like this. Suppose if you are taking like this C6 cyclohexene when you are taking, then when you are using same oxidation process by using this Bayer's reagent, then what is the product means diol. Diol like this. Okay, C6H12 actually, C6H12 means okay, cyclohexene. Okay, so instead of cyclohexane, so here instead of two hydrogens you have two OH groups. Okay, UPSC names also they can give options, that depends on your ability to give name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Of course UPSC nomenclature many times we discussed, and even in this crash course also we will discuss, don't worry. Okay, in this way you can answer. And CH2OH and CH2OH, what is this? Ethylene glycol. What is this? Ethylene glycol or simply glyoxal, not all. Glyoxal is CHO single bond CHO. This one is old, okay, so no need. And glyoxal you can remember, otherwise ethylene glycol, okay, or ethane 1, 2 diol, that is the IUPAC name 1 and 2. So you can write ethane 1, 2 diol, you can write like this also. So this is oxidation by alkene by what? Bayer's reagent. Okay, so this one. And this carbon monoxide plus H2, this is industrial preparation, and zinc oxide or else zirconium oxide, ZrO3, zirconium oxide, or else chromium oxide, CrO3 when you are using. Then methanol you will have CH3OH. This is the preparation of only methanol. Okay, so carbon monoxide plus H2. Okay, what we call water gas or syngas, that when treated with ZnO or zirconium oxide or CrO3, then you will get methanol. This is one of the process actually. And one more we have, so please write it down all these things. And one more we have, that is what we call fermentation process. Okay, that everybody knows maximum, because that is very much important in PU exam. Okay, so that is well known for everyone actually. So now we will discuss about fermentation process, preparation of ethanol. Okay, so first what process that is? Fermentation process. What is the fermentation process? Preparation of ethyl alcohol from sucrose actually. Okay, fermentation means exactly what? The breaking of large molecule into small molecules, or decomposition of macromolecules into micromolecules in presence of enzymes. Okay, that is called fermentation process actually. So fermentation process we have two here. One is from sucrose and one is from maltose. Maltose comes from starch. Okay, so both I will give you here. Okay, so one by one. If you see first sucrose formula, C12H22O11 sucrose on decomposition. Okay, on decomposition you will get C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. That means here you have glucose. First one is glucose, this one glucose, this is fructose. Okay, this is aldose, this is ketose. So here aldehyde functional group you have in glucose, here keto functional group. So both have same formula like isomers, glucose and fructose you are having. Here what we use invertase. This you know, that's why briefly I am giving like this. Okay, this comes from the material which left behind after extraction of sugar from sugarcane juice. For that particular we will add H2SO4 diluted, so that this sucrose will from sucrose, if any unwanted impurities are there, those will remove first, and for that we will add diluted H2SO4 means water will be there. So we will decompose for 72 hours around, then you will get glucose and fructose, means almost 3 days we have to ferment. So fermented product means you know already. Okay, because you know you are very good in bio actually, so that's why. So if next what happened, this glucose C6H12O6. Okay, so this C6H12O6, now when you are using this water, what happens in presence of gymnase? In presence of gymnase, then you will get ethanol C2H5OH, ethanol plus CO2 you are having. Okay, so ethyl alcohol you are having. But it's a everyone. This is one of the preparation. Of course, this one form is just 5 to 10%. This is called wash. Okay, on crystalline, on what do you call it? Hydrolysis. Okay, so what will happen? This distillation process we call. This ethanol turns to 98% alcohol. Okay, that is called what we call spirit, absolute alcohol. Okay, so 98%, and then we have 100%, make it 100% like that, and rectified spirit we call 98%, and that we can, by adding calcium carbonate like that converts to ethanol 100%. Okay, that is called absolute spirit. Okay, rectified spirit, this turns to first rectified spirit, okay, by using distillation process. Okay, and then this, when you are adding calcium carbonate or calcium oxide like that, then it converted to absolute alcohol. Absolute alcohol is how much percentage? Absolute alcohol is 100%. Rectified spirit is how much percentage? 98%. Okay, this is the process. For absolute alcohol, if you are adding methanol, CH3OH, that is a denaturing of alcohol. Adding methanol to absolute alcohol is called denature. Denature means what? It loses its nature, original nature. Denature means unfit for drinking. Ethyl alcohol is fit for drinking, right? But don't drink. But generally I am saying, so absolute alcohol is fit for drinking, but when you are adding methanol, it is a poisonous, so it will become unfit for drinking. That is a denaturing of alcohol, which is used in industrial purpose actually. So in industries or in our laboratory, if you see alcohol, ethyl alcohol we label, but that is not pure ethyl alcohol. There you have a methanol. Okay, when methanol is there, reactivity will increase. That's why methanol will add and make it unfit for drinking. Okay, that is the most important thing. And this is about fermentation process from sucrose. Okay, so next is from starch. This one, everybody please note it down so that you have no need to look at this when I am explaining from starch. Okay, yeah, starch is C6H10O5 N times. So this is called starch. Okay, starch is a polymer of hydrocarbon actually. Okay, sorry, carbohydrate. Starch. This starch on hydrolysis means on decomposition in presence of diastase, then this converts to C12H22O11. C12H22O11. This is maltose. This is sucrose. Sucrose formula, maltose formula same, but sucrose, this one is what? Sucrose. Sucrose is a combination of one aldose and one ketose, one glucose and fructose. But maltose is just a dimer of aldose only, dimer of glucose only. Means two glucose units when combined by losing water molecule, then you will get this one, C12H22O11 actually. Getting, sir, everyone? So this maltose, now the same story, C12H22O11. If you see maltose and sucrose, same formula, but difference I told you. Okay, this one we called as maltose. Now maltose on hydrolysis, that means decomposition. Okay, in presence of maltase, this one maltase enzyme, then you will get 2 moles of benzene, 2 moles of glucose, C6H12O6 plus C6 means I'm getting only benzene, sorry. C6H12O6 and C6H12O6. This one, both are glucose only. I can write glucose. From glucose, same story, this reaction. Glucose, only glucose, sir. Okay, so aldehydes more reactive, that's why. Glucose on decomposition in presence of zymes, we have ethyl alcohol. Same manner, same story here happened. So I have tried reaction. This reaction only I can say. Okay, so this is about preparation of what? Ethyl alcohol by using fermentation process. You please go through the reactions and what we use to convert from first wash, then rectified spirit, absolute alcohol, make it unfit for drinking, that is denaturing of alcohol. And next from starch, what is the formula of starch? Please write down all these things. Okay, so these are the preparations of Mr. What, sir? Alcohols. Okay, so next phenols also we will discuss, but I will complete these first properties of alcohols. Okay, so and one more preparation we have in ozonolysis process. Actually, alkenes on ozonolysis, you will have you will have aldehydes or ketones based on branching and everything. But in ozonolysis, if you use some hydrogen peroxide like that, you will get alcohol. That difference I will tell you, but not now. Later on I will tell you. Okay, later means where in aldehydes and ketones preparation, pakka I will tell you. Okay, so now, yeah, I forgot to tell you one more thing. This CH2 double bond CH2 in presence of OSO4, osmium tetroxide, OSO4, and previous sin addition, sir. Remember this one. Then you will get CH2OH and single bond CH2OH. This is also one of the preparation when you are using OSO4. Why to lose marks unnecessarily? That is my intention. Even I forgot, I will explain one more time, not a problem. So CH2 double bond CH2 on oxidation by OSO4, sin addition. Sin addition means both OH groups approach from same side, means oxygens provided by this OSO4. OSO4 means OS, osmium, double bond O, double bond O, double bond O, double bond O. So both oxygens will approach from same side. Okay, so here you have to remember, if the alkene is cis alkene by sin addition meso. Meso compound you will get. Meso means you have no plane of symmetry exists. Both functional group will be will appear in same side, one side. That is meso actually. So trans alkene, if they given in exam, that is, sir, diol will come. But what diol? They'll ask mesodiol, like that. Meso na racemic. If you have a confusion, it's a waste of time. What we discussed here. Suppose, of course, it is not cis. When they given cis like this, double bond C and CH3 and CH3 and H and H. This is cis alkene or not? They will give oxidation by OSO4 like this. Not only OSO4, Bayer's reagent also syn addition only. Means both approach from same side. Remember this one. Okay. Syn addition means give meso. Trans will give racemic mixture. What mixture? Racemic mixture. Racemic mixture means what? Both functional groups in a opposite side. Okay. One is above the plane, one is below the plane. Like that. D form and L form. Dextro and levorotatory. Okay. Suppose if we are having this cis, then our product is this. And CH3 and CH3 and H, this H, and OH, and here H and OH. Okay, this is what mesoform it is. Understanding everyone? Racemic mixture how? OH suppose here, one OH here. In mirror image you can write same ulta. So OH here, this this OH here, this OH here. This OH comes here, this OH same here. Understanding? I will write otherwise. See, CH3 and CH3, H here, OH here. OH here, H here. Its mirror image opposite. Mirror image means OH, H, OH, H, CH3 and CH3. Diastereomers. This OH left side, last symmetrical carbon. This is L form. Here OH right side, that is D form. This is L form and this is D form. Okay. So optical isomerism. We done 2 videos in previous for second years. I hope remaining also know that. So I'll send those. Okay. Again afterwards. Okay. So but now you have to understand all these things. Like cis gives what meso, trans gives what racemic mixture. These all things you must know, sir. Please. Okay. So this is called racemic mixture. Well, first of all, diastereomers means everybody have idea, no? Non-superimposable mirror images are called racemic mixture. Non-superimposable mirror images are called diastereomers. Sorry. Racemic mixture means equal concentrations of both D and L. Mixture is called racemic mixture. So D and L 50-50% almost. If mixed, then racemic mixture you are having. Both are optically active, D form and L form, but racemic mixture is optically inactive. Remember this one. Why I am explaining all these things? Maybe you think. So which of the following reaction gives optically inactive compound? This one optically inactive, that one also optically inactive, but individually optically active, optically inactive. This one also optically inactive, but individually this is optically active, this is optically active. OEA means optically active. So cis you have this one, but trans you will have these two. Trans alkene syn addition you will get racemic mixture. Okay, reverse. These two what you learn? Same for cis and trans. Anti-addition if you are doing, then you will get ulta products. Remember this one. That is also very important. In previous I was given who are trans addition and who are cis addition. Nickel by H2 cis addition, syn addition. Okay, metal by hydrogen, that is syn addition. So syn additions are giving like this, but opposite means what? Anti-addition means like different you will get, like bromination, Br2 addition in presence of CCl4, anti-addition that is. Okay, HOCl addition. HOCl how comes? Cl2 plus H2O when you are adding to alkene. At the time of hydrocarbons you will have all these things, don't worry. Okay, this is anti-addition. HOCl added to some alkene like CH2 double bond CH2. This is anti-addition. Means here OH, here Cl will come. OH minus and Cl plus. So OH and Cl will come here. Understanding everyone? And addition of bromine Br2 in previous I said that is anti-addition. Anti-addition means opposite for this. Getting sir? So this is about how oxidation happen actually. So I thought to explain properties, right? But why I given all these things? These are all very important for you. So maybe those kind of question comes in exam. Very happy so that we have some confidence then if you know right now. Okay. So remember all these things: cis, syn, meso, trans, syn, racemic, cis, anti, racemic, trans and anti-addition, then meso compound. Please note it down all these for useful for us. Okay, anti-addition examples also I was given. Come to some physical properties. Actually, I have no need to say, but generally I'll tell you physical properties how to understand. In physical properties, actually, alcohols, if you see, they are having hydrogen bond formation ability. So therefore, they have high boiling point and melting point actually. So boiling point and melting point, those depends on intermolecular forces. Intermolecular attractive forces. Intermolecular force of attractions or intermolecular attractive forces increases, then boiling point increases actually. Okay, molecular weight increases, then boiling point of a molecule increases. But this all depends actually. Sometimes few molecules have less weight, but due to their extra ability to have like hydrogen bond or ion dipole forces, because of that boiling point will be more sometimes. Understanding everyone? So here one more important thing I'll give you. What is that? See, as branching increases, then surface area decreases. Surface area what happened? Decreases. Then this boiling point also. Then boiling point also decreases. This is very important. So as branching increases, surface area decreases. Surface area what happened? Decreases. Decrease already we are representing there. Decreases. Then boiling point also decreases. This is the most important thing for us. Please remember, sir, everyone. So as I told you, ethanol can dissolve in water because ability to form hydrogen bond. Everybody knows. It has a, what is hydrogen bond? You have doubt? Hydrogen bond means the force of attraction between most electronegative atom with small size and hydrogen. Okay, so it is the bond formed between hydrogen and most electronegative atom, like what? Having small size. And who are having small size? Only three: oxygen, fluorine and nitrogen actually. Chlorine have hydrogen bond but only at one place, on benzene only. Okay, chlorine attached to benzene then only have hydrogen bond nature. Otherwise in HCl like that there is no hydrogen bond like this. Here no hydrogen bond, but here hydrogen bond present. Please remember. So who have hydrogen bond formation ability? Mr. Oxygen, fluorine and nitrogen. Who have more? Fluorine, because most electronegative is fluorine, no? So like that. So what I am saying, alcohols can soluble in water, but as number of carbons increases, hydrophobic nature increases, so solubility decreases, because carbon chain is hydrophobic like this. OH is hydrophilic. This is hydrophilic, but this carbon chain is hydrophobic. So please remember this all what I am saying. So as number of carbons increases, then solubility, what happened? Decreases. Solubility decreases. Remember this one. Because hydrophobic nature increases as number of carbons increases. Now come to boiling point. So they have ability to form H bond. So OH you have, some R you have here, and here O, and H you have, and R you have here. So between these two, what you have? See, hydrogen of this molecule, oxygen of this molecule, there is a hydrogen bond. This is hydrogen bond representation. So H bond is there. So therefore, it is a extra attractive forces or not, tell me. So alcohols have more boiling point than their corresponding molecules which have same molecular weight, almost same molecular weight. See, if you see some examples like CH3OH or C2H5OH, I will take. Okay, I'll take C2H5OH, and I'll take methanol, CH3, sorry, what I said, dimethyl ether, CH3OCH3, and I'll take CH3CH2. Almost same molecular weight actually, but this alcohol and ether and your aldehyde. Here I take an aldehyde, but you can take any ketone if you take propanol like that. Okay, with 2 carbons, no aldehyde ketone. So if you see here, this is the order of boiling point. Why alcohol has more boiling point means alcohols are having ability to form hydrogen bond. That's why alcohols are more acidic. Understanding? Almost, see, these are actually same molecular weight, 46, and this is having I think 1 hydrogen less, 2 hydrogens less, so 44. But still, if you see, all have same molecular weight, but why alcohol has more boiling point? This is the order of boiling point. Why the boiling point of alcohol is more means this is the reason. What is the reason? Hydrogen bond is the reason actually. Understood, sir? So this is about it. And one more thing, in same isomers, as branching increases, boiling point decreases. Here I written, branching increases, surface area decreases. Between two molecules, surface area of a molecule decreases. So between the molecules, distance increases. Distance when increase, attractions are less. So boiling point will become less. Surface area of molecule decreases. Okay. So between two molecules, distance what happen? Increases. So this is about what? Physical properties. Next we have to discuss about chemical properties. Alcohols are undergoing 2 types of chemical reactions. How many types of chemical reactions? 2 types. One is the reactions involving OH bond cleavage, and second one reactions involving CO bond cleavage. So 2 reactions happening. First we have to discuss reactions involving OH bond cleavage. OH bond cleavage actually. So this we have to discuss. So alcohols have 2 types of bonds. If you see carbon chain, see any carbon chain here, 1 carbon I am taking generally, COH. Suppose if it is ethyl alcohol only, CH3, CH2OH. So between this carbon and oxygen there is a CO bond. What bond this is called? CO bond. This bond is called OH bond. So 2 type of cleavage. Cleavage means breaking. Can happen or not? Yes. So the reaction can involve by using this OH bond breaking. Few reactions can happen by breaking of this CO bond between this carbon and oxygen, not CC bond actually. Getting, sir, everyone? So like that, we have 2 types of chemical reactions. Reactions involving CO bond cleavage and reactions involving OH bond cleavage. So first we have that like reaction with metal. Reaction with metals. Reaction with metals and reaction with the bases, like metallic bases, like hydroxides, sodium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide. Those will give you information about the acidic nature of alcohols. Acidic nature of alcohols actually. Suppose when I am taking ROH, when I am treating with sodium like this, then what happens here? RONA plus H2, but half H2, because one hydrogen only. You can balance 2, 2, 2 like that. H2. Okay? So like this, reactions happen. In ROH, when react with the sodium hydroxide like this, NaOH, then RONA, that means RO minus, Na plus, okay? It's not covalent bonds, or ionic nature, plus H2O like this. From these two reactions, what you can say, alcohols have, therefore, because this is base, no? So alcohols are acidic because they are losing hydrogen, right? So who are losing H plus? They are called Bronsted acid. Of course weak, but Bronsted acid. So therefore we can say alcohols have what nature? Base. Oh shit, sorry. Alcohols have acidic nature, sorry. Okay, so these alcohols actually, see OH and H, if you see, this R, O and H, if you see, water this is actually, and this is alcohol. In water, both are hydrogens, but in alcohol, R group is there. What is R group? Alkyl group. Alkyl group is a plus I group or minus I group? Plus I group. Plus I group means can it donate H plus? No. Why? R group is having a donating nature. So this hydrogen have to go as H plus, means this is also donating electron to oxygen. So these electrons are moving towards oxygen and these electrons are moving towards oxygen. So on oxygen electron density increases. Certainly repulsions takes place between these electrons and these electrons. So electrons between R and O, electrons, I written like this, no? Electrons between R and O, electrons between O and H are moving towards oxygen. Certainly on oxygen, electron density increases. Certainly repulsions increase more. So due to repulsions, molecule will become unstable. So hydrogen cannot come easily. So what I am saying here, due to donating nature of this alkyl group, water is more acidic than alcohol. Acidic nature I am writing. Water is more acidic than alcohol. In alcohols also, as plus I groups increases, then acidic nature decreases. As I told you, what happens if plus I groups are more? What happens? If plus I groups are more, they will donate electrons towards oxygen. Plus I group means electron donor or not? Everybody knows that. So that acidic nature, what happens? Decreases. So as I said in previous, like many times I said, CH3OH and CH2OH, as the number of carbons increases, CH3 and one more here, CH3 is there and OH, and CH3 and CH3 and OH. If you see, who is more acidic means this one is more acidic. This is the order. Otherwise, if you want numbers, you can write 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1 is more acidic than 2, 2 is more acidic than 3, 3 is more acidic than 4. Because number of plus I groups increased, alkyl groups are plus I groups. These all donating electrons towards this carbon. Certainly, the substrate carbon I told you, on this carbon electron density increases, and these are moving towards, of course, this will move towards oxygen, and from hydrogen electrons are coming towards oxygen. Certainly, H plus cannot come easily. Okay, so that is the main important thing. This understanding, everyone. So please note it down, all these things, very important for us. Okay. So as plus I groups increases, acidic nature what happen? As plus I groups increases, acidic nature decreases. That's why I given that. So even in isomers, as the branching increases, then acidic nature decreases, remember. So next most important, actually one more thing, as the minus I groups increases, then acidic nature increases. Distance also matters actually. So what I am saying next, as minus I group increases, then acidic nature increases. This we will learn in carboxylic acids also. They are also useful. So minus I group means, you know everyone, like fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, NO2, CHO, CO, cyanide, isocyanide, this all SO3H. These all are minus I groups. As the minus NO2 I written already. Okay, even minus I groups, NH2. For a saturated, these all are, for a saturated carbon chain, open chain, these all are minus I groups only. Okay, like OH, one more OH is there. Then what they are? Minus I groups. As minus I groups increases, then acidic nature what happen? Increases. This you remember, please. Okay, so now we have to discuss few more reactions involving OH bond cleavage next. Okay, so now we have to learn reaction of alcohol with Grignard reagent. Reaction with what? Grignard reagent. This is also important for us. Okay, reactions involving OH bond cleavage only we are learning. So without wasting time, I will write now. So ROH, when you are treating with some CH3MgBr. So here only one thing you have to remember. What is that? In Grignard reagent, what alkyl group you have? With that number of carbons, alkane is the product, remember. Whatever the alcohol, that is unnecessary for you, even it is a phenol or whatever. Okay, so Grignard reagent, in that how many carbons are there? With those many carbons you will have alkane. This is the most important thing. That means here this R is unnecessary for us. Okay, here this hydrogen only will involve in bonding, means OH bond cleavage takes place. So this hydrogen and this methyl, so as it is H plus and R minus in Grignard reagent, that means what is the product you are having? CH4 plus and MgOR. This is MgORBr. So whatever the alcohol, when react with the Grignard reagent, then you will get particular alkane. Suppose if you are having some like C2H5MgBr you have, otherwise C6H5 you have, benzene you will have it. So here how many carbons are there? With those many carbons, here even you take water or alcohol. I am taking some ethyl alcohol, unnecessary for you. Ethyl alcohol, propanol, butanol, unnecessary for you. Okay, but I can tell you one thing, but as number of carbons increases, the reactivity decreases. If it is methanol, that is more reactive than ethanol, because in ethanol how many carbons are there? 2 carbons. Understanding? Because I told now this cannot, as number of carbons increases, that means plus I groups increases, that means that cannot lose hydrogen, so this will become less reactive or not. Understanding? So now what happened? This OH bond and this C2H5, so this C2H5 minus and this one OH. Alright, then you have C2H6 you are having. This C2H5, of course sir, this is also C2H5 also. This is not the alkyl group involved in the formation of alkane. This alkyl group will form alkane. Then the remaining is MgOC2H5Br. Sir, if I take methanol, what happens, sir? CH3OH, when react with the C2H5MgBr, then what happens, sir? Means same story. Here you have ethyl, so this bond will break. Here you have hydrogen. That means what you have? Here also you have C2H6. And but here MgOCH3 and Br. This one is somewhat fast when comparatively this. Among these two reactions, this one is fast because here you have a methyl, here you have ethyl. Methyl means one carbon, ethyl means two carbons. So as number of carbons increases, donating nature increases, but here less somewhat. Difference understood? So this is about reaction with the Grignard reagent. Next is esterification. Means ester formation. Ester formation also what we call OH bond cleavage only. Means ester formation how happen excuse me. This carboxylic acid CH3 some C double bond OH carboxylic acid acetic acid when react with this OH some C2H5 then what happen in presence of H plus okay means acid here OH from here and H from here. So in alcohol what bond cleavage taking place? OH bond cleavage taking place in alcohol and here in carboxylic acid CO bond cleavage taking place. So water removed from here. That means here the product is CH3 and C double bond O C2H5. The same reaction we can have by using some acid derivatives. Acid derivatives means anhydrides or esters. One more ester you can take here. Anhydride you can take. Okay. Acid halide. Acid halide means suppose CH3 C double bond OCl plus HO C2H5. What happened? Can you guess? Here HCl will remove. Here water was removed, here HCl will remove. Then what you will get? CH3 and C double bond O C2H5 you are having. So ester only you are having. So any acid derivative or carboxylic acid with alcohol, ester is forming and here alcohol involving OH bond cleavage. These are very important for us. Okay. So these are about reactions involving what OH bond cleavage. Please note it down. Okay. Now we have to learn okay reactions involving CO bond cleavage. Few we know already. What are those? Like low-cost reagent, alcohols with low-cost reagent. So alkyl halide preparations and same alcohols with PCl5, PCl3, SOCl2. Those all comes under what? Reactions involving what cleavage? CO bond cleavage. Reactions involving CO bond cleavage. Already low-cost reagent and all I was given already. So but simply I will give. So CH3, CH2OH when react with the HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2. Okay, then what you have? I told you this reaction involving OH bond cleavage. What happens? The Cl minus will come over here and this OH and H will go like this. That means between carbon and oxygen bond is completely breaking or not. Now the product is CH3, CH2, Cl plus H2O. This is a reaction involving OH bond cleavage. Next one, if you see CH3, CH2OH, I'll give you only one with the PCl3 and what happens I told you already. So CH3, okay, CH3, CH2, Cl, 3 moles you are having and along with that you are having H3PO3 you are having, right? Reactions involving what bond cleavage? OH bond cleavage. And this CH3, CH2, OH when react with SOCl2. This is the best process because here you are having what? Byproducts are gases. That's why this is the best process. And this SOCl2 added to alcohol. Same actually. CH3, CH2, Cl plus SO2 plus HCl. SO2 plus HCl, sir. So the formed byproducts are gases. That's why this is the best process. This one, remember this. Okay, and even PCl5, I told you ethyl alcohol, ethyl chloride plus POCl3 plus HCl you are having. So this is one of the important reaction. Why I am explaining these reactions? You have a question. These we already learned in preparations of alkyl halides already. So now we will discuss about some dehydration. Dehydration means what? Removal of water. Removal of water happen. So how that reaction happen in presence of dehydrating agent like concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay, concentrated sulfuric acid, or else Al2O3 alumina. By using that, you will have different products actually at different temperatures. So those we have to learn now. Dehydration. What is the dehydration means? Dehydration means removal of water. Removal of water happens. So I'll write here all reactions. So first actually dehydration by concentrated sulfuric acid H2SO4. Okay. So first alcohol when you are taking this CH3CH2OH, when you are using concentrated sulfuric acid H2SO4 at 110 degrees Celsius. Okay, what happened? H from here and this is a reaction involving OH bond cleavage, right? So OH from here, because acid have a tendency to donate hydrogen H plus. So ethyl alcohol also having acidic nature, no sir, but very much weak. This is a strong acid, concentrated. So this will donate H plus. So this will donate OH now. So water will remove. Certainly you are having CH3, CH2, SO3H remaining. H2SO4 no. So SO3H, ethyl. Okay. So here OH, OS would, yeah. H2SO4, S, double bond O, double bond O, double bond O. OH, I'll write like this. Sorry. OH, OSO3H actually. So double bond O and OH. Like this. So what you have? OH from here, H from here, remove. Like this remove. That means what you have here? O, SO3H. So one oxygen is forming bond here. At what temperature? At 110 degrees Celsius, like this. So H plus removed from here and OH from here. Okay, same. CH3, CH2OH plus OH, CH2, CH3. 2 moles of ethanol I am taking. Same H plus means H2SO4, and we are using 140 degrees Celsius. Then the product is, see this, H from here, one of the ethanol lose H and one of the ethanol will lose OH. Means here CO bond cleavage, here OH bond cleavage takes place. So water removed here. Now what you are having? C2H5. The product is C2H5O, C2H5 you are having that. Means ether is the product. Understanding, sir, everyone? Now last, this one is 1 and 2 and 3. Next. Last one is same ethanol CH3CH2OH. When you are treating with the same concentrated H2SO4, written H plus. This is nothing but who is providing H2SO4. Okay, and at 170 degrees Celsius, 170 degrees Celsius, then you are having alkene, CH2 double bond CH2 you are having. Getting what I am saying? So CH3 single bond CH2OH, when you are treating with H2SO4 170, alkene is the product. Alkene preparation, this one. This is a ether preparation. Okay, how to remember? Tell me. Alcohol treated with H2SO4 at 110. Okay, ethyl hydrogen sulfate. Okay, and when you are treating with Mr. H2SO4 at 140, ether. Ether is the product. When you are treating with H2SO4 at 170, alkene is the product. Understanding? So like that you have to remember. Okay, ethyl hydrogen sulfate. Sulfate means SO4 only. Ethyl hydrogen sulfate and ether here, and here alkene is the product. Okay, this one hydrogen sulfate. Ethyl hydrogen. Why we call hydrogen? You have hydrogen there. Hydrogen sulfate. Getting sir everyone? Okay, so like that you have to remember. But when different number of carbons are there for a double bond, means unsymmetrical alkene if they given, like CH3 and CH and double bond, sorry, OH here you have, and here CH2 CH3 you have. For this I am adding same. What I am adding, sir? I am adding concentrated H2SO4. I am adding at 170 degrees Celsius. Then we have to follow Sage-Joff rule. This is what I am going to say. In the dehydrohalogenation, I said same manner. Here also we have to follow Sage-Joff rule. Excuse me. Means removal of beta hydrogen from the beta carbon which have less number of hydrogen. This is beta. Suppose this is beta dash. You have to remove hydrogen from here, because according to what rule that is called? Sage-Joff rule. According to Sage-Joff rule, you have to remove hydrogen from here. As I said, the branching is there for a double bond, that is more stable, I said. So that's why double bond will come here between. So what you are having, sir, now? CH3, now CH, double bond CH and CH3. This is one product. Another product is, suppose from beta dash if removed, then CH2, double bond CH and CH2, CH3. How this one formed? Removed from this. So from beta carbon, hydrogen removed. Hydrogen removed from beta carbon, then this product. Now hydrogen removed from beta dash, from beta dash, hydrogen if removed, this one product, this one major and this one minor. So remember all these things. These all are very, very important. Instead of H2SO4, we can use alumina. What we can use? Alumina we can use. If you use alumina at 240 ether, these two reactions we have now, ether formation, those only, same story. But when you are using alumina at 260, 270 like that, 260, then you will get ether. When you are using around 340 to 360, then degrees Celsius I am telling, then you will get, what will get? Alkene. Okay. So I will tell you that reaction now. CH2 double bond CH2. When you are treating with alumina, Al2O3 around 260 degrees Celsius like that given, then you will get, what I am writing, sorry. And I am taking alcohol, CH3, CH2OH. Then ether is the product. That means CH3, CH2O, CH2, CH3. I am getting ether now. Okay. If I am using same, so 2 moles you have to take, sir, here. Please remember that one. Okay. Plus water, of course, sir. Removal of water takes place. CH3, CH2OH. When you are using same alumina, Al2O3, around 370 degrees Celsius. Okay. No problem. Then you will get CH3 by alkene is the product, no? CH2 double bond CH2 is the product. So this is one of the important thing for us. Okay. Next we have oxidation of alcohols. Oxidation of alcohols gives what? Aldehydes and ketones, further converted to carboxylic acid. But that depends on what do you know? That depends on oxidizing agent. If the oxidizing agent is mild, means weak oxidizing agent, then alcohol turns to aldehyde or alcohol turns to ketone. That's it. Remember this. Okay, listen carefully. What I am saying now, I repeat. Alcohols on oxidation by mild oxidizing agent, then aldehyde or ketone will come. So when ketone will come means I will tell you now only. When primary alcohol treated with a mild oxidizing agent, then aldehyde is the product. If alcohol is a secondary, then oxidation by mild oxidizing agents, then you will get ketone. So a list of mild oxidizing agents and those strong oxidizing agents I will give you later. But now please remember, but when you are using tertiary alcohol for oxidation, then no aldehyde, no ketone. Then what will form, sir? Means alkene will be the product. What will be the product at that time? Alkene is the product. Sir, understanding everyone? So I'll write that now. So oxidation, simply I'll write some reactions. Oxidation of alcohols. Oxidation of what, sir? Alcohols. That's it. So oxidation of alcohols, how happen? So I'll give you simply. Primary alcohol, that is on oxidation by using strong oxidizing agent, then that turns to aldehyde. That turns to what? Aldehyde. But that reaction won't stop. Final product will come. Even option is aldehyde, don't select that. First what will form means aldehyde. Primary alcohols on oxidation by strong oxidizing agent. Final product carboxylic acid. You will have carboxylic acids. Carboxylic acids with same number of carbons. Same number of carbons. With what? Here. In primary alcohols, how many carbons are there? Those many carbons here you will have. Suppose here two carbons are there. Here you will get 2 carbons. Here you will have 2 carbons. Aldehydes with same number of carbons in alcohols will form. So in this alcohol, if 3 carbons, aldehyde consists of 3 carbons. Then further using, no need to use separately. When you are adding strong oxidizing agent to this primary alcohol in a test tube or whatever, then you will get carboxylic acid as a final product. First aldehyde will form. Again we will add strong oxidizing agent. Don't think like that. For a primary alcohol, when you are adding strong oxidizing agent, so this is the sequence. But end product is this carboxylic acid. Got it, sir? With same number of carbons. If I am taking secondary alcohol, if I am taking what? Secondary alcohol and by using same strong oxidizing agent. Strong oxidizing agent, then you will get ketone actually. Secondary alcohol example like CH3, CH, OH, CH3. Okay? Then what will you get? CH3, C double bond O, CH3. What happened? Hydrogen from here, hydrogen from here. H2 removal. Removal of hydrogen is nothing but oxidation. So what you will get? This ketone will form. And further this ketone converts to carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid, but less number of carbons. Less number of carbons present or than, okay, than in alcohol. So here same. Secondary alcohol, how many carbons? In ketones, same number of carbons. Sir, why you are explaining this directly? You can give reactions, no sir. Why 2 by hand? See first propanol, sir. 2 propanol given, sir. Then what is the product, sir? Ketone. 1 propanol given, sir. Aldehyde. I will say like that. Because 1 propanol is primary. 2-propanol is, this is 2-propanol or not? 1, 2, 3. 2-propanol is secondary. Is giving same number of carbons or not? Like that I will remember. See here, carboxylic acid is what? CH3, COOH. Means one of the methyl group is removing. So CC bond breaking here. So CH3, C double bond OH. When this happens, when I am adding strong oxidizing agent, this happens. Sir, when I am taking tertiary alcohols are like this, CH3, 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 OH. When I am adding this strong oxidizing agent, then what happens, sir? Means dehydration, means minus H2O. Means you can guess now what happens. So OH from any one of the carbon, one hydrogen you have to remove. Then the product is CH3C, double bond CH2 and single bond CH3. Like this happens. Understanding, sir? So this is the most important thing for you. Okay? Please remember all these things. Alkene is the product. When the tertiary alcohol is reacting. Got it, sir, everyone? But I will give you importantly who are the strong oxidizing agents and who are the weak oxidizing agents. Strong oxidizing, I will give you Jones reagent and KMnO4, H plus, acidified KMnO4, okay, or else K2Cr2O7, K2Cr2O7, peroidic acid HiO3, HNO3. Those all are strong oxidizing agents. I'll give you list in our next class. But please remember all these things. If you are using mild oxidizing agents like PCC, PDC, then pyridine chlorochromate like that, the reaction will form after formation of aldehyde and after formation of ketone. Of course, tertiary always gives alkene. Understanding? So these are about maximum chemical properties of alcohols. Next, I'll give you that list and we'll enter into phenols as well as aldehydes and ketones. Thank you very much. And please write down all these things and remember like this only. Okay. If you are using, as I said, mild oxidizing agents, what happen? Reaction will stop after formation of aldehyde. Reaction will stop after formation of ketone like this. Thank you very much. Write down and practice all these things. Thank you.